Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Reed, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about Abaddon's Gate, which is Book 3 of the Expanse series by James S. A. Corey. If you haven't seen my reviews for Book 1 and 2, they are right above my head right now. If you want to read Book 3 before I talk about it, because warning, there will be spoilers, please use the link in the description to buy it. So on to my review. This is a good book, very good. Not as good as the first two, but still very enjoyable. It seemed much more slow paced compared to the other two, and for the first time I was actually bored reading an Expanse book. Which I never thought would happen, because these books are usually extremely entertaining. Never wanted to put it down, but for this one, I kinda wanted to put it down sometimes. No offense. I was a bit disappointed that neither Avasarala or Bobby were in this book, but the new characters are still fairly enjoyable. They're not as interesting as Bobby or Avasarala, I gotta add. Holden is back in this one though, and he's awesome. He's a great character. His relationships with the others feel like a fully formed family at this point. Alliteration. I would have preferred to see more of him in this book, but when he was in the book, he was very nice. Bull was a new character. He was like a Martian military dude. He was a rather bland character in my opinion. He was written fine. I know his chapters were written fine, but they never really seemed to grip me. So when he died at the end of the book, it didn't really affect me that much. Um, and then here we have Melba and Clarissa, which are the same person. Clarissa uses Melba's name as an alias. Um, it was cool seeing chapters from the villain's perspective because we've never seen that in an Expanse book so far. I never sympathized with her character though, even though the writers clearly wanted me to. She seemed like an entitled brat, like an angry teenage, I want it my way, one of those brats. Her character was very inconsistent because she goes from a cold hearted killer to somebody who has no idea what to do. So, are you competent or not competent? She's both. I think that whole redemption at the end of the book is very forced. I would have liked to see her be a villain for a few more books. Kind of drag it out a little bit more. But nope, she gets redeemed in the last 10% of the book, which doesn't really feel earned. Um, I like that Detective Miller is back, though he's not really Detective Miller. He is a construct created by the protomolecule, which only Holden could see, and I think that's pretty cool. I'm interested in seeing what happens with him in Book 4, because he did not really contribute that much in Book 3, besides being exposition. So I'm hoping in Book 4 he'd come back and solve a vital purpose to the plot, which I think is what they're doing in Book 3. They're kind of setting him up to do something big in Book 4. And then there's Anna, who is probably my favorite of the new three characters they introduced. The concept of a lesbian pastel is pretty unique. I've never seen that one before. She has a very analytical way of looking at things, sort of like Bobby does. But unlike Bobby, she has a very passive and calm personality. Unlike pretty much any of the other main characters we've seen so far, the other main characters are very high-strung and stressed out, rightfully so. But Anna always seemed level-headed. She always knew what to think. Well, she always knew how to keep her calm. I like how we got to see Melba/slash Clarissa's paranoid meltdown from both Melba and Anna's perspective. From Anna's point of view, it just looks like a crazy woman is screaming at her. But from Melba's point of view, she thinks that Anna's on her, and she's scared that she's going to get caught. It was good seeing that kind of paranoid meltdown from both of their perspectives. I like when Melba/slash Clarissa fought Naomi, and how we got to see Naomi in action from when Holden is not with her. We get to see it from somebody's perspective other than Holden, of Naomi being a complete badass, which is cool. Naomi got to shine a lot in this book, which makes me want chapters dedicated to Naomi from her perspective. I kind of hope we get that in later books. Though mostly her character was shown through other characters. I'd like to see what she thinks about Holden and Amos. Like if we get a chapter from her perspective would be very nice. Because he's probably one of the best characters in this book. Which brings us to the character I hate a lot is Asford. He sets a little bit. He's very controlling, but you're supposed to hate him. I hated him so much. So great job, James S. A. Corey, for making such a hateable character. I don't like this guy, but I'm not supposed to, so that's good. The different plot threads in this book took a long time to converge. Like, we saw the characters from different perspectives, but it took like 500 pages for them to finally meet, as opposed to book 2. It only took them like 300 pages. The beginning was fine. The beginning, like, first 200 pages, I guess, was really fine. But the middle 200 pages of the book felt a lot like filler. Like, these chapters didn't really advance the plot that much. They just seemed to be there. But the last 200 pages were much more interesting. It kept my attention, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Not in the middle part, but the end of it. Very great. The ending of this book opens the series up to exploring the rest of the galaxy outside of the solar system. So it'll be cool to see how the different societies already established will react to finding the new planets. So this book is called The Expanse, and it's expanding even more. Probably why they call it The Expanse. So yeah, I'm wondering if it's just going to keep how many new societies they're going to find in Book 4, 5, 6, whatever, you know? It was cool that we found out the origins and the purpose of the protomolecule. We find out that its creators were destroyed like 2 billion years ago, and the station remained dormant until the ring was activated by Mano in the prologue when he crashed into it. So it's cool. Like, I've always wondered, what is the protomolecule? What is it for? We find out what it's for in Book 3. Still leaves a lot of questions for what Book 4 is going to be about, though. So, like, if they ended this at this book, it wouldn't really feel complete. So yeah. I like this book a lot. I'm giving it a B. Even though I gave a B plus to the first two, I'm giving this one a B. It was still good. Kind of boring in some parts. Still liked it, though. I'm going to take a few months away from this, though. I'm not going to read the next Expanse book right away, because I'm starting a Class of Kings, and I might read a Storm of Swords after that if I'm into it. I don't really know yet. But I'll be definitely reading and reviewing Sibylla Born, if that's how you pronounce it, this fall. Like I said, I'm going to take a little break. I'll probably read it sometime in October. So if you're going to be waiting for my book 4 review, expect maybe October. So yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope everybody has a nice night or day whenever you watch this. I post videos every Thursdays and Sundays, so please subscribe and watch my next ones. So yeah. Everybody stay safe and peace.